Welcome to the super fun game review podcast. Go Mega Ultra Between Review Show. Down. MUBRS.
Yeah, I forgot. That's a thing we do.
MUBRS.
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 All right, guys. So it's been a while. Let's get a gaming update from everybody. What have you guys been playing?
It's been a while.
I knew we were going that route.
I played some Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, you're still going through. You haven't.
I am
beat it
still
yet?
playing Breath of the Wild. I still have not beaten it. I have been taking my sweet ass time with it, and I've
Talk
been
about
enjoying
sweet
it.
ass.
Sweet ass. I played a little bit of Red Dead. Got up to about Mexico.
I've been thinking about playing through that again soon.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad way to go.
Actually, I've been playing Gran Turismo 5
Oh, really?
a little bit. Yeah, I hadn't played it in years. But that's one of those rare racing games where you can have like a 24-hour race that you can set with AI drivers, and you can like leave your PlayStation on, turn your TV off, go to work, come back and check your standings, and then go to bed and wake up and see if you won the race.
That's such a fucking weird concept to me.
Yeah, it is. But it's just like, so for the B-spec races in Gran Turismo, you essentially train your drivers to win races, and then for the top end is endurance racing, where it's like a 4-hour race, a 12-hour race, a 9-hour race, and then there are two races that are 24 hours, the Nürburgring and Le Mans, which just happened in real life. Like the 24 hours of Le Mans just happened a couple weeks ago, not even. But yeah, for whatever reason I was like, I'm gonna boot this up and play it, and I think it came out in like 2012 or 13. I forgot how old it was. It's like time flies.
It's been out for years.
Oh yeah. And
I'm
they
sure
came
it
out with
still
6.
looks great by new
looks good.
game standards.
I mean, they came out with 6 like right at the end of the generation, and then they came out with Gran Turismo Sport for the current generation, but I haven't picked that up.
All right, so as a bonus, what's a game from E3 you're looking forward to?
The Last of Us Part 2.
It's been a long time
Fair
coming.
I mean, that was announced a couple years ago, and
Yeah.
there was a trailer. But this time we actually had gameplay, and I knew that the game was, set to come out. They didn't give us a release date or anything, but I watched the trailer. That it's like a cutscene, and then it goes into gameplay, and then it comes back to a cutscene. And yeah, I mean, I was gonna buy it anyway, but I'm right there. They did something weird with Ellie's face though, because the debut trailer has you see her face, and now her face looks different from that trailer. It's like they've been working on the game for 18 months or so, and now her face just looks different. I don't know if she's older or not. In terms of those two trailers, she's definitely older from the first game, but I guess they went back to the drawing board with her facial structure, and they changed it.
So I actually, it's been a while, which will go
No,
back. Come on. But
The candles light your face.
I know. I've been working on my complexion. Thank you for noticing, Ralph. You're such a gentleman. I picked up Rocket League for the first time in probably about 4
my
or 5
God,
months.
dude.
Hey, you know what? You asked what I've been playing.
It's always Rocket League.
It's
always Rocket
Hey,
League.
I
When
got
was the
something
last
new to
time?
talk about tonight. Let's talk about Rocket League.
Fine. Rocket League with the
Breath of the Wild, Rocket League,
summer update.
Rainbow Six.
Well, other
Clark,
than
you've been playing Madden.
it's pretty much been the podcast
Kidding.
games, and then Rocket League was pretty much just sitting there. I'm like, I haven't booted this up in a little while, so let's give it a shot. And there's been a lot of like updates that came through, a lot of new stadiums, which I found very, I don't know, they were pretty neat. Granted, it's still the same old thing, but it's still the same old thing that I like. So, fuck you. I don't really care.
So fuck you.
It's not necessary, Steve.
No, it's absolutely necessary.
I feel like he timed picking up Rocket League again because like somehow he had this intuition. We're gonna do a classic MUBRS episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need it. It's
Playing
like-
Rocket League.
It has to be sitting back in the wheelhouse at some point to kind of come through. But really nothing out of that from what we've been gearing up for the podcast itself. And so moving on to the second half of the question for something that came out at E3 that we're excited about. I'm excited for the Spider-Man game. And that's only because the last one... Ralph, I will
All right,
shove
no one
my
talks
foot
through your
so
shit.
far up
Excuse
your ass that
Your
you will be
shitty fucking
spitting out
game.
your mouth.
Wow. I deserve that.
That- probably one of my favorite games was Spider-Man 2 for the Xbox, the original Xbox, but that's because you could pretty much swing throughout the city, just the mechanics of the fighting and not so much the storyline that got repetitive, but basically the foundation of what it was on. That's what this game looks like it finally brought back again, but actually really started kicking up and throwing a little more in to bring it into 2018, 2019, like in today's times. So the first time I saw the trailer for it, I got excited right off the bat. And then once they started showing a little more of the gameplay, a little more of like into, the type of new elements they're bringing into it, I'm hands down getting this day one when it comes out. I haven't been this excited about a game for a while.
Cool. I guess I'll go next.
Oh yeah, just interject, Harry.
Were you all done?
Yeah, no, I'm done.
I figured. So let me talk about something fresh, like something new we haven't discussed on MUBRS before. So I picked this game up called Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I knew it.
No,
I knew it.
I'm kidding. I know. I actually want to talk tonight. I've been actually playing a lot of H1Z1. And then you could chime in as I'm going through this because I know Clark's been
we've
playing.
been playing a lot together.
I know.
Bet you do.
So I will say I'm not too familiar. Like I know there's a lot of like battle royale type games out there.
Mhm.
This is like my first introduction to any of those.
This is one of the first ones too.
So like this whole experience is all brand new to me in general. Just the 100 players on a map, everybody drops in, and then this map that just keeps shrinking and shrinking. I really dig it. I was hooked. I think I started playing it when I was on my last vacation.
Yeah.
I feel so. I had a lot of free time to fucking sink into this, and I mean, I don't want to say like an expert on the game by any means, but I did find a formula that absolutely works for me. Now, it's not a high kill count, but I find I get certain kills at certain points in a match that follows like a general routine that gets me a win. I played 4 single-player matches the other day, won 3 out of 4 of them just using this formula.
Nice.
By one, you mean you were the last
Like the
to
last
survive.
survivor out of 100.
Right.
Oh wow.
And typically, I'll just briefly go through my formula because I don't want to bore everybody. But
You can't give us your secret. You can't.
No,
You can tell
it's
the
a
world.
very commonly known.
What is it?
Formula.
Are you one of those guys that like puts out your like drops?
Harry
gear
does
and
put
hides
out.
behind a door or something.
no.
No.
I play low kill count. Like I'm more of a I avoid combat unless absolutely necessary. I'm
Okay.
a hunt for supplies by any means. So
It's the if you're familiar with H1Z1, it's the hide and seek strategy.
peekaboo.
No, that's what it is.
Okay.
You primarily hide and you just seek out the things that you need for the final showdown.
Please elaborate, because I do have it downloaded. I've been wanting to play this. I just literally have not been time.
There is a learning curve to it, hands down. You're going to die a lot before you get even comfortable with the
With a
game.
lot of games.
The gunplay, I think, is a little weak on this game.
Okay.
Really?
I had to change sensitivity to make it feel a little bit more fluid.
Oh.
Um,
He's
That's
MLG
gross.
over here. He needs to readjust all the settings.
I did. I readjusted every individual setting to like personal preferences. Like,
Hey, it
like,
helps sometimes.
I was kidding, but
like
okay.
I feel like it was too loose on the gun control when you're aiming down sights, so I tightened it up. But at the same token, I pushed the cursor all the way over for when you're in the car, because you do this thing where you're trying to scan the sky for a parachuting in package,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't think it was fast enough, so I turned up the sensitivity all the way.
Okay.
So I could literally cycle the camera around the car in like a second or two.
So what's your formula?
So I typically drop in on a car, like most people do, and I usually get a kill fighting over the vehicle, because there's limited vehicles in the game. I would say for the 100 players that are playing, there's usually like 50 vehicles, I'm going to guess. So,
Okay.
I usually get a kill early in the game. I spend the first early game just collecting the basics and trying to hunt down a military crate. And then I just kind of travel around, avoiding conflict for the middle portion of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end, I usually get the first drop crate without any kind of
The green crates, because there's green,
Yeah.
then blue, then gold.
Then gold, yes.
Gotcha.
Just different tier weapons. They
Yeah.
get more and more powerful. I don't usually see anybody on the first crate that drops. Usually contest over the second one, and then I stay hidden. Because the late game crates, there's 8 to 10 people all fighting over this one
Everybody
crate.
going crazy for it.
It's nuts. Just avoid that shit. You see the counter of people just tick, 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 tick.
Does the map shrink in the same way every game?
No,
It's
chooses
random where the circle's going to end up.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, it's insane. But towards the end of the game, I stay in a vehicle. I try to keep a high health vehicle for the end of the game. Literally just driving around, even though the circle's getting smaller and smaller. Just stay in the car. It's like an extra layer of armor,
Gotcha.
essentially.
Makes sense.
And you're a harder target moving as fast as you are. So stay in the vehicle. I can usually get a kill just running over somebody that's not in a vehicle at that point. And then once it gets to a little tiny circle, there's usually less than 10 people. I hide in the gas and just start pumping the health packs and bandages to stay alive while sitting in the gas.
What do you mean you hide in the gas?
So the gas ticks down your health. That's why it keeps
Okay.
shrinking, but once you go out past that circle, you're in a toxic gas.
But it
that
doesn't affect your armor.
doesn't affect your armor, but it depletes your health.
Gotcha.
So I hide in the gas because nobody ventures really into the gas. And you just keep pumping yourself with the health items to stay alive, while the other people, they're in this really tiny circle. They're just picking each other off left and right. I wait until there's 3 of us or 2 of us left, and then run out and try to find the last person. You can usually spot them from inside the gas where they are, so you just line up the gun, pick them off once there's only 1 or 2 left. It works for me almost every single time.
Good to know.
I
How
guess
Yeah, how do you feel about E3?
I'll be completely honest. I did not watch a lot. I watched trailers, somebody put together small portions of each trailer in one 20-minute video.
like
so
a
I watched that.
compilation
Yeah, a
type thing?
compilation of games that were previewed at E3. I mean, honestly, overall, I will say I'm not too excited about too many games. Well,
So what you did.
You a liar.
Nice one.
Resident Evil 2 is probably on my radar, probably the highest one to come out of that. I'm a little bummed they didn't mention anything about Final Fantasy VII, the remake.
You and millions of other fans.
I feel like it's going to be the same thing as Final Fantasy 15, 10 years out.
It's
we're
gonna
like
take
halfway
forever.
there. We're like halfway there
It's just stupid.
because they're going to release 3
they only-
different games.
It's gonna,
Likely.
I hate that Square Enix does that bullshit.
It's not cost effective for them either.
Because how many people lose hype by the time it actually comes out?
No one. Honestly, for Final Fantasy games, nobody.
It's a shame they missed the 20th anniversary window, though.
Yep.
My opinion. They should have.
Oh, that
had
would have been
something
good
planned up.
timing. But
They've been talking about a Final Fantasy VII remake since PS3.
Well, I remember they did that trailer that got everybody on board for the idea
they
to
did
begin
the tech
with.
demo, then
Yeah.
they did another tech demo.
everybody got hard for it, but it's slowly becoming flaccid.
Okay.
Analogies.
So
Dick jokes.
Yeah. You quit at Square Enix, or I'll ejaculate on something else.
He will. I've watched him do it before. Whoa, wait, what?
So yeah, I've pretty much just been playing H1Z1 a lot. I've been playing a little more Siege. Nothing too.
The new
crazy
characters are
there.
pretty cool.
Yeah, they're all right. I like the new map more than I like the new characters.
Oh, the new map is beautiful.
Yeah,
I think
Villa.
it's one of
Villa?
the best DLC maps that they've made.
Yeah, for sure. So for E3 though, I was super excited about Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. I think that's going to be an awesome, interesting game from Software. So essentially, it is almost a combination of Tenchu and Bloodborne and Onimusha. Kind of mixed with different things. There's it's a lot of sword play and a lot of the timing in Bloodborne, but there's not it's not a Souls game, and it's not a spiritual successor to either of them. It's not in the universe they've come out. There's no online component for it. They just said it's a single player, no customization. Like, this is the game that we're putting out, and I'm really, really excited for it. It looks incredible. Like, the whole idea of switching your macabre hand to different like weapons and things like that. Like, that seems really interesting. There's like stealth kills. There's a grappling hook that you can use in combat and to traverse the areas and stuff. It looks really cool. And honestly, with how much I've loved From Software's games, really honestly think that it's going to be really well done. Also, oddly enough, it's being put out by Activision.
Wait, well, so From Software. From Software is creating the game, but Activision is publishing, is what it sounds like.
Yep.
Okay.
Because From Software hasn't really published their own stuff. It's usually been
Right.
Sony or Namco
right.
Bandai.
When you were talking about the games that it's like, it reminded me of the trailer I saw for Ghosts of Tsushima. I don't know if you saw that or had interest or not.
Kind of. So that one is very strictly based in reality. This is not.
Okay.
Well, Ghost of Tsushima is literally like, they said it's, almost history correct to feudal Japan.
Okay. I don't know if it's confirmed that there are no like mystical or folklore elements.
There might be some folklore, but this like you're running around with a severed arm that is now made out of this crazy like bone.
Oh no, they're different.
Contraption.
I gotcha.
The sword play is more towards Bloodborne, whereas in Ghosts it looks like there's no like trail on the sword, if that makes sense. It looks they're going for realism with that game.
Right.
Whereas Sekiro is like fantastic. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up.
Yeah. Wrap it up, Ralph.
And stay tuned next week and fire up those chainsaws.